Hey there, I'm Susan. I would never believe this story if it didn't happen right in front of me. There are lots of people that still hesitate, but I have irrefutable proof now. The point is that my phone conceals horrible truth about our principal. Can you imagine that she's been stealing from kids for years? Nobody could. I found out by accident, by appearing in the right place at the wrong time. We would still quarrel and panic if it wasn't for that tiny coincidence. Our school looked like a jail because one was suspecting another. The aggression level was increasing with every fight, but our principal is in the real jail now. The city was buzzing for some time. Newspapers and local channels were extremely excited. They made a real hero out of me. It is unbelievable that an adult woman, the principal of the whole school, appeared to be a thief, and not a very mysterious one. I'm just glad that everything ended well. Do you want to know how I managed to save everyone? That day, I had a terrible stomachache. We're not supposed to leave the class, especially recently, but the pain was unbearable. I even was ready to be branded as a mysterious school thief for a few years. The point was that somebody from our school started stealing things, and the weirdest part is that he was stealing everything. Things of value, some simple stuff, money, and even cell phones. Everything that someone left unattended was stolen. Even personal things from our lockers were not safe. That felt terrible, because everyone was under suspicion. Seniors attacked freshmen. The latter used to cry and whine, accusing seniors. Children started to walk in groups. In case one would look away, others could watch his stuff. The teachers thought that we were being paranoid, and it was some strange kind of game. But we were not playing. You don't have time for games when you're afraid of being punished by your parents for the missing phone. Finally, the school administration even let the members of our school board watch the security footage. They wanted to prove that in fact nothing was stolen and the videos really showed nothing special. Just some lockers, classrooms, and dressing rooms. So we decided that the thief was not an ordinary human. Maybe some ghosts stole our stuff. Or it was an assassin who could easily hide from the security cameras. We also stopped going out during classes and walked alone, so nobody could suspect anything. So I was talking about my stomachache. I called in sick and asked my teacher to send somebody with me. I didn't want to be suspected, but she refused and I went to the nurse's office alone, looking around all the time. The nurse examined me, gave me a pill, and sent me to the hospital. She was worried about my stomach and wanted to make sure that everything was fine. So I decided to not wait for the painkiller to work and call my mother right away. I knew that my mom would believe me because I rarely missed my classes pretending to be sick. I was heading towards my locker to put a prescription in there and some things, and I didn't want to bother anyone while calling my mom. Suddenly, I saw something strange. Nobody suspected the adults in those robberies. We couldn't even think about teachers or administrative members stealing our stuff. Seriously? Why do they need that? Children don't have anything valuable, except for a phone or a few dollars. When I turned around the corner, I saw our principal standing near my friend's locker. To be honest, I didn't suspect anything at first. Who knows what she's doing there? But she was obviously doing something wrong. She was trying to pick the lock with the help of some hairpins, and that was not okay. I panicked and screamed loudly. Also, I quickly took my phone out of the bag and turned the camera on. At first, she didn't realize what was going on. That's why when she was standing there with that hairpin in her hands, for at least several seconds, it was enough for everyone to come here. Surely the principal was trying to defend herself. She said that we were stupid teens and knew nothing. How a respectable adult could steal something. But I had the whole school of eyewitnesses, and the videos as well. It was the crucial evidence against her. Everyone could see our principal picking the lock. During her trial, the woman acknowledged that she had been stealing from the students all the time. She even admitted that it was our fault because we didn't keep an eye on our things, and she had full access to all lockers and dressing rooms, so it was not a big deal to open them. Speaking of cameras, she was just turning them off or redirecting them in a different way. That's how I became our local hero. Students admired me. Journalists interviewed me several times. People in the street came near and praised my active citizenship. but I still feel awful, as if Santa with a fake beard came through the door instead of the chimney. I understand everything, but don't want to believe that we were deceived for so long. All of us learned our lesson. Everyone can turn out to be a terrible person, even the one who is least likely to be suspected, even the principal of your own school.
My name is Grace, and I'm the principal of the school everyone is talking about. Or, to be more accurate, I was the principal. Kids these days don't have any respect for authority. It's so insulting that one stupid girl ruined my whole life. I lost everything because she thought she saw something, and a crowd of mindless children believed her. I didn't get anything for all my work in return, except for 3 meals a day in jail for the next 5 long years. I worked so hard and didn't have anything else in my life except for my job. It was everything to me. I was trying to earn and save as much money as possible so that I could retire early and enjoy my own life for once. My hard work didn't let me settle down or even have kids of my own. So then one day I was reassigned to this dang school. Everyone who thinks that all principals should be the best pedagogists is so wrong. A principal is just a good manager, or in a perfect world, a financier. One that usually starts his own business, and I was quite the catch for this little school and didn't have any other options. Also, I don't have traditional talent that makes me a successful financier. I don't even like kids, to be honest. I would love my own, I'm pretty sure. But all these screaming and swearing students are awful. I was so annoyed by them that I tried to stay as far away from them as possible. For heaven's sake, my job was to take care of the financial part of the school management, and also the delivery of school supplies, not babysit. The assistants were in charge of that. Then, that happened. At some point, I realized that I was living my life in vain. All these bratty kids with their expensive cell phones and clothes. They spent money from their parents and never understood the real value of $1. There are not many kids of rich parents here because our city school is quite small and simple. But still, my students managed to live better lives than me. I'm 45 now and don't own a cool, expensive cell phone or stylish clothes. I can't even afford lunch in a fancy cafe like other career women. These snot-nosed kids have all that and even more. Although I noticed they didn't value their stuff at all. Otherwise, they would have kept better track of it, don't you think? At first, I would just get mad, alone in my office. But one day, I found only a few dollars were left in my wallet. And it was a whole week until payday. So when I was walking by the dressing room and saw $20 on the ground, I decided I should take it. The bill seemed to be lost by a student, and if a student was so inattentive and lost their money, they probably didn't even need it. Then I took a wallet that was left in the hallway on a windowsill. I pocketed change that was lying on the floor, and an abandoned phone from the dressing room. I knew what I was doing was wrong, but those kids, well, they should have watched their stuff better. Besides, no one suspected the headmistress when they found out that their things were missing. The students were just accusing each other. So I ended up finding the best way to save some cash. At first, as I mentioned, I felt guilty, but the farther it went, the more indifferent I became. I didn't care about the kids' troubles. The school rules say, do not take anything of value from other students. And the responsibility for personal belongings lies with students bringing it on campus. It says nothing about teachers taking things or teachers' responsibility. Everything was considered in detail. I even turned off the cameras. If it wasn't for that dang girl that interfered, I could have saved enough money till the end of the school year and then quit. And now I have to face jail time and universal condemnation. I don't deserve any of this. Please do share in the comments your opinions on this story and its characters. Like the video and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to see the next episode.